I just now completed my MTech in manufacturing from Pandit Dindayal Energy University, and my research work on the metal additive manufacturing, like selective laser sintering and melting. And apart from that, also I have worked on the thermal modeling, the machine learning part, and the FSW also. So this was about the my MTech work, and now I got the opportunity to continue my PhD, and I got selected for the two positions, one at the IIT Kharagpur in the material science department, and second is the joint doctoral program of IIT Hyderabad and the Deakin University. So my just the query is that what to select, because if we see compare, the both are good at some or at their own places. Yeah.
Okay, got it. So the first one you said is IIT Kharagpur. The second one is IIT Hyderabad,
and
Deakin University. Okay,
yeah.
so let me ask you, this is most important. I think I'm glad you called me. What are your ambitions after you want to finish your PhD? Like what you want to do, where you want to see yourself? That's most importantly. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So I want to go for the postdoc only, and after down the line for the next 5 to 10 years, I would like to be as a faculty position in the prestigious university like IITs and NITs, or in the maybe in the research organization. Yeah, but I want to go for the postdoc in the abroad only.
Yeah. But so what you're saying is you after your PhD you want to go to abroad and then come back to India and probably join for faculty in some of those institutions, good ones, or some DRDO lab or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you, do you know what topics you will be working on at Kharagpur versus at Hyderabad? What topic? Are there different topics or the same?
Yeah, it's the same, sir, because in the interview only, and after interview I got a call from the professor, and there also we have discussed that I want to work on the metal additive manufacturing.
Okay. And let me ask you this more. Do you know how this Hyderabad Deakin's University program works? What you guys do there when they say it's a collaborative, whatever it is?
Yeah, so basically it's the 4 year of duration, and the 3 years I'm going to stay at the IIT Hyderabad, and for the 1 year I will be at the Deakin University, Australia.
Okay.
Yeah, so like that, and they are going to sponsor my the tuition fees at the IIT Hyderabad also, and also they are going to give me a stipend per month. Yeah.
Okay. So from you, I want to ask this question is what do you think are the pros and cons of both places? Let's say Hyderabad, what do you see good and what do you see not so good?
Yeah, so if I talk about this Hyderabad, so I have the Deccan University have the exact the facility and the equipments that are exactly required. But I talked to the one of the post student. So he told me that it is a very limited period of time. So if you are staying for the 12 months, then for the three to 4 months, it will be like your training and all, then only you are going to, or you are able to work on your project or your research work. So in the limited period of time you cannot do that much, like the fabrication and the different characterization. So you have to very well plan.
Is your question is like Hyderabad is a new university, Kharagpur is the old one, Hyderabad has a lower ranking than Kharagpur, are these also coming in your mind?
Yeah. Yes, exactly, sir.
Okay. Let me ask you another question. The professor at Hyderabad and the professor at Kharagpur, which one is more well known in India?
So both are the equal, because I have checked the Google Scholar and the H Index and all. So both are the legendary persons, sir.
Like
but one is the one The person from the IIT Hyderabad, I worked on the same area, like the metal additive manufacturing, and he also get a grant on the same domain.
Okay. Hmm. So I think the only question you have, see, if I was you, the way I see it is, I will say, Kharagpur is an old university, has a better reputation. Hyderabad is a new one, but I am going to get a chance to go out and work with this Australian university and all that, right? So if I was you, to be honest with you, looking at when you say the professor are of the same caliber, there's not much difference, or all, I will choose probably IIT Hyderabad.
Okay.
And the reason is very simple. Let me put it this way. Why? As far as your ambitions are concerned, you want to do a postdoc, right? I would say if I want to do a postdoc, I will have equal chances if I'm graduating from Hyderabad or Kharagpur. There is not big difference. I would say having another reference from Deakin University would help a lot, quite a lot.
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
And also, the
And
most important thing you have to understand, in life, in general, I would say, never say no if you are getting a new exposure. That's very
yeah,
valuable.
that is also
That's very
yeah.
valuable,
I got it.
right? So this program, joint collaboration with Deakin, and you will be having a work in Australia. You to go to see Australia. You will work there for a year. That's invaluable, to be honest with you.
Mhm. Yes,
And
I
if
got it.
you would have told me, like, I'm going to select between NIT Raukela, let's say example, and IIT Kharagpur, I would say okay, IIT Kharagpur, right? But
Yeah,
IIT Hyderabad
okay.
is good enough. I would say it in terms of location. I would say sometimes location gives you many advantages. That's why people go to Bombay and not to Kanpur, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I would say IIT Hyderabad has a better location,
Exactly,
and the
exactly.
type of work you will do, I would say you will find lot of industries like Boeing, Mercedes, GE, GM. Everyone has a research headquarter in Bangalore, Hyderabad area.
Yes,
So
sir.
so you never know what you're gonna land up. Let's say, for example, you finish your PhD and you get an offer from IIT, from GM to join us. You're not gonna say no to that, right? So my point here
Yeah.
is, and you will have more chances. I will give you one example why I'm saying so. So Purdue University has a very good ranking, right? Very good.
Yeah.
And there is a university called San Jose State University. Nobody knows. But
Mhm.
everyone at San Jose University gets a job in Google and Lockheed and everywhere because they are next door.
Yeah. So location is also matters a lot.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
So location matters. The branding, I would say, if here's another thing you will realize. Like, I graduated from IIT Varanasi in my BTech. Once you go out and down here 10 years down the road, nobody cares which IIT you graduated.
Mm-hmm.
The tag is important. The brand is with you, and then what is important is how well you carry that brand, like how good you are.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
everyone from IIT goes to become a CEO. You know what I mean? So as
Yeah,
far as
yeah.
you have the brand with you, that's all you need. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
So
exactly.
so
So
and as far as
so
your
the research
you want, as far as you want to become a professor at an IIT or not, I would say IIT Kharagpur may have a upper edge, may little bit, very very little, but I would not count that too
okay.
much.
Acha. So I got that thought on this, sir,
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
the chances of getting
yeah, I don't, I won't count
yes.
that too much. Here is the thing, I won't, I will take a risk going to IIT Guwahati, sorry, IIT Hyderabad, and I have heard good things about Hyderabad. Here you have to understand, being a new university, you have many new things to do. Kharagpur is old.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has their ego. They do things on their own. You know, so you have
Oh,
to understand. So my point here is, like, here's the thing: you want to do a postdoc, you will have equal chances from. It will all depend on you have IIT tag and how good you are working. The good thing about being affiliated to
yeah.
Deakin, who knows, you going to end up doing a postdoc at Deacon's. Who knows, or some other university. So you have much more
Yes, yes.
chances. And also you have to understand, you will get a postdoc based on how good your network is. So if you
Okay.
start to go to Deakin and Hyderabad and this and that, you will have bigger network. So you can ask a
Yeah, yeah.
Deakin
More
professor,
chances
do you
to.
know? Yeah, you can ask a Professor Deakin, do you know someone at US or Canada or UK? You can also ask Professor Hyderabad, and that will make your chances much more
Yeah.
better chances.
Okay. Got it, sir. Yeah. Got
So
it, sir.
if I
Got it.
was you, I will choose Hyderabad, no doubt. I mean, I don't see why Kharagpur, and Kharagpur is at a very lonely place. If you have told me IIT has Bombay, I would have not given you that suggestion probably. But Kharagpur is a very lonely place.
Mhm.
Hyderabad, it's a metropolitan. It's up and coming. It is gaining a good ranking. And at as I said, when you are doing a PhD, it really matters. It's not like you are going for a BTech. If you tell me if you're a BTech student and what to choose, I would say of course go to Kharagpur. But you are a
Okay.
PhD student. A PhD student, the important matters is your professor. So I'm saying evaluate the professor who is a good one, not only in terms of work, but also in terms of giving you autonomy, well spoken, understands the problem, not like an asshole who just
Yeah, yeah.
because you hear the horror stories. Those things are more important.
Okay, okay.
So it's not
So it's
important like Kharagpur or something. I think the important is which is a good professor, both emotionally and intellectually.
yeah, yeah.
That is
Okay.
most important, not the university, dude. Because you can, here's the thing: you can get admitted to an MIT, and if the professor is horrible, your life would be done. And I have heard lot of stories, and not only
Mhm.
for from students like you, but even with my colleagues when we were doing PhD. So my
Okay.
point here is important is who is the professor, how good he is, how well mannered it is, how well behaved it is, how he talks to a student. Is he acts like a professor or he acts
Mhm.
like a more like a friend? Those things are much more important than university, because once you are in a PhD program, 99% of the time you spend with a professor in his lab or her lab. There is
Yeah,
nothing to do with the university. You
yeah. That is
understand?
also true. Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that no,
Got
no,
it.
that is the most important. So I would say if you get a little bit of a suspicion, let's say if the professor at IIT Hyderabad is little bit, you get a wrong feedback from his previous
Mhm.
students or her previous students or from Kharagpur, I would say don't go there.
Mhm.
Of course, hands
Yeah.
down. That is more important.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
because
So yeah,
for
yeah.
PhD it doesn't matter. You have two IITs, it's fine. Uh, let's say both professor you find are good enough. I would say go to Hyderabad. If you find hey,
Okay.
one professor in this university is worse than the other, choose the one which the professor is good, because he will become your lifelong friend.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
will
Exactly.
you will need your professor from now onwards. You will need your professor for at least rest 10 years.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
will need his recommendation. So you want a professor who writes a good recommendation, who does a good job, who talks really good, who helps you out as much as you can. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Got it, sir. Got it.
So talk to those professors, tell them that you are you want to talk about the research, you want to talk about your future. Talk to their previous students what they think about their professor, especially who graduated, because the people who are there, they don't want to talk much, but the people who are graduated, say
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
speak to you. That is more important.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, like, my application must to go that aspect. I will examine about the professor and their nature and all. Then I will decide. And you say that the always the network has an upper hand. So probably I'm going to choose that one.
Yeah. So as I said, based on discussion with you, do couple of things.
Mhm.
First, find out about a professor who is a
Okay.
nice one, who is who is who
Yeah.
is who when I say nice one, I'm saying he doesn't treat students like a slave.
Yeah. Got it.
He has to treat students like a student. I mean, let me put it this way: no students is happy with the professor because they ask you to do work. I'm not saying that. I'm saying his mannerism. He can be professional, but his mannerism is more important. He understands the students. He helps them out. Especially, you can ask those two students who graduated how much they get help from them. Like sometimes there are professors who are, once you graduate, you don't hear back from them. You don't want that, right? So that's more important. As you told me, their education are equally same, so not a problem at all. Then the network, because it's PhD, you want to develop network, you want to do good work, so that once you're out there, you have a lot of people helping you out. You know, especially with postdoc. Postdoc is all about how well your professor knows somebody else, because it's not like a faculty position. You can get a postdoc if I have friends who are a professor. They say, "Hey, Amit, do you know someone?" I said, "Yeah," and they get, "Okay, let's take them." It's as simple as that. So network cares, because in faculty position you have, you know, chair, you have a board. It's a very professional, but postdoc is very casual. You know, you can get a professor, you can get like I had a PhD, my PhD advisor, one of his students went to do postdoc at MIT. Why? Because he knows that professor. That's all. That's how postdoc works, right? So more network is better.
Okay, got it, sir. Got it.
Yeah. So evaluate those things in a piece of paper, like 1, 2 on these categories, and then make your decision. I would say number 1 would be how good the professor is emotionally. You know, second is what you see you doing yourself, as you already told. I would say Hyderabad would be a good one based on their program with Deacon. I think that's excellent, no doubt, hands down. Third, location, extremely important. Hyderabad is as you know, is a Makkah of jobs, right? So that's extremely important.
And I also have stayed 1 year in Hyderabad, so I know about the place.
So as I said, Hyderabad, Bangalore are the places you will find it out. You will see a lot of people who are there, as I said, working the core sector. You know, there are a lot of companies who are there, and so it's a very important thing. I gave you already example of Purdue and San Jose State University. Very good example. You know, but nobody knows about the university, but since it's right there.
They got opportunity.
So those are the things that you need to evaluate. But number 1, I already told you, figure that out as soon as possible before you join, because once you join, there is nothing you can do. That's extremely important.
Right, sir. Right. Okay, I will go on that way, sir. Fine.
And also another thing you want to figure that out, that the students who have graduated before you in last 5 years, where are they? Because that gives you very good example where they have been. You will find a professor A where their students have done nothing, maybe for some reason. That's a red flag. But there is Professor B whose students are postdoc in Germany there, and then they came back, or they're working in industry. That's a good sign, because at the end you will be more or less doing the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yes. That's it. Got it.
Yep. Anything else, Meet?
No, fine, sir. Fine. You are doing actually it's a wonderful job, because I like in the past 2 days I found out that Google is not something that give you all answers.
No. Google. I mean, you need a personal opinion on that, you know, and a very honest opinion.
Exactly.
You know, especially people who I wish I was a student and someone like me was telling me the same thing. I would have not done a lot of mistakes.
Okay.
These are the most important questions that for a PhD student is important. As I told you, a lot of people get fascinated about, oh, this professor is amazing, he do amazing work and all that, but he's not emotionally good, and then you are done. You don't want that. It's very, very, very important that your professor is a really good person. I'm not talking about he pushing you to do hard work. That's different. Everyone do that. But really good person and helping students even after they graduate. That's so important, because your professor, let me tell you, after your parents, your professor or PhD advisor is the one who has to take care of you professionally. Because let me tell you, I know students whose professor didn't help them. Their career had gone totally in different direction, because really, to be honest with you, the way the system is, for a postdoc, you need a reference. For faculty, you need a reference. And if your advisor is crazy, dude, you are done. You know, you are done. No matter you graduate from MIT or whatever, it doesn't matter. So professor has to be very, very helpful. And most of the time, you will find Even probably 0.1% cases are like that, but most professors, they do help their students once they graduate. And you will also find their current student don't like them, but that's okay.
Yeah. Got it. Sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, Meet, good talking to you. And
Yeah.
let me know what you decide. Send me an email and keep in touch. Okay.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much.
Great. Okay.
Yeah,
Bye.
yeah. Nice to